So above this video, or maybe below this video, you're going to see 4 downloadable documents. The first document is going to be a monthly spending plan. The next document is going to be a financial plan summary. The next is a money management system diagram. And last is a bundle of awesome worksheets that you can use to organize, enhance, and really secure your financial future. So I want to give you guys a quick rundown on how to use these digital assets to your benefit. So I want to start with the monthly spending plan. And this is one of my clients' favorite documents to help them organize their cash flow, to help them understand where their money is going, how much they're making, how much is going off to taxes, and what is left over at the end of every single month. So this is a monthly spending plan, and you want to start with your fixed expenses. That's this first category here. You're going to go in here, and the best way to do this is to look at the average of your last 3 months of fixed expenses, variable expenses, liability expenses, and financial planning expenses, and take the average, like use it as a benchmark. But if you want to do this kind of quickly and fast, you can just look at your last 30 days. But ultimately, you're going to come in here and fill out each one of these sections. And this is going to give you an idea of your total fixed expenses, things that you really should know off the top of your head, like your housing payment, how much you're paying for your phone bill or internet. Now, the next section is your variable expenses. This is the section that's going to take a little bit more of your time and attention. And specifically, I find that people struggle the most with figuring out their groceries, figuring out their entertainment and dining, and figuring out their personal spending and shopping expenses. Are usually the big culprits here, or the ones that are hard to nail down. But you want to look at your last 30 to 90 days of spending and actually come up with a reasonable budget or spending plan. Now, if you've been spending $1,000 every single month on your groceries and you just know you shouldn't be spending $1,000 a month because you don't need to for whatever reason, I'm not saying put $1,000 a month here. This is where you get to say, you know what, I really should be spending $600 a month instead of 1,000. So you're going to want to put in 600, right? As you go down this, it should automatically give you this, let's say this is 2000. It should automatically add this up for you. Now, if you download this, the view looks a little bit better. It's a little bit cut off here, but that's not how it normally looks. And so you're going to go through each section. This financial planning section is essentially what you're contributing towards your future. So are you putting any money into an emergency savings account, a cash account? Do you have any life insurance, long-term care? Do you have educational accounts, retirement accounts, non-qualified or taxable accounts? Are you putting money into an investment account on a regular basis? If so, you want to document that here. And then liabilities is the final section. Do you have a credit card balance? Do you have student loan balances that you are paying towards monthly? You want to input your income here. If you have a spouse or a partner, you can put their income here. You want to go through and subtract out federal taxes. Now, this PDF will do all the math for you. So if your income here is say $2,000 and you're paying $500 in taxes, it will give you $1,500 as your net income. And as you add up these various categories, you will have a unallocated income at the bottom that is either negative or ideally positive. This portion of your plan needs to be positive or break even. Otherwise, you're going into debt every single month. Now, once you have finished this spending plan, you're like, this is something that I can follow. This allows me to spend money on things that are important to me, like travel, like entertainment and dining out, like taking care of my family. Whatever is important to you, you need to make space in your spending plan for that. But there also needs to be money left over at the end of every single month. If you ever want to get ahead financially, if you ever want to be able to not have to work, there needs to be unallocated income here. Once you have unallocated income here, this is what you're going to use to apply towards your financial future. But before you start to apply this to your financial future, you're going to want to get an understanding of, like, what does your financial vitals look like? What are you working towards? How are you going to make this money work for you? And this is where you can use our financial plan summary worksheet. And so when I do this with my clients, we use a planning software. We do this all digitally, but this is a good way to manually do it. And I want to give this to you as a resource so you can organize your current financials and you can get an understanding of your annual cash flow, what you have as your net worth, what are your assets minus your liabilities, Where is your money located for taxes? What is your desired monthly income when it comes to retirement? What are some of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that you face in your financial world? And then a checklist for the other areas of financial planning. Have you considered estate planning, risk management? Who are your beneficiaries? A section to write down your goals, because if you don't write it down, they're simply daydreams, and daydreams don't happen. They don't come to fruition. You can rank your priorities. I really need to build a emergency savings account, or my priority is making sure I can retire in the next 25 years. Whatever your priority is, you can come in here and rank it. This is my first priority, second priority, third priority. I don't care about this one. So you can get very clear on what's important to you. I want you to spend some time thinking about what your financial mission statement is. One of the principles that I believe in is that you should treat your personal finances like a business. And any good business has a mission statement. What is their purpose? What are they trying to do in their business? And you should have a mission statement for your personal finances. What does money mean to you? How are you using money to support the things in your life that are most important? That brings us to what are the core values, right? What do you value? The values that you would like your friends to have, the values that you would want to instill in your kids. You want to make sure that your mission statement is supported by core values. You need to have a big enough reason why, because if you don't have a big enough reason why, you're not going to be able to inspire yourself to do the work to educate yourself, to start an investment plan, to do any of the hard tasks that it takes to get ahead financially. If you don't have a big enough driving reason why, I always call it a North Star with my clients, then it's probably not going to happen. So think through why you're doing this. What about money is important to you? And write it down. Write down your core values and use this worksheet to just get an understanding and an overall feel for what your financial world looks like. Do you have a positive net worth? Do you have a negative net worth? What strengths do you have? Maybe you're a high income earner, but you currently are carrying credit card debt because you overspend, right? What are your biggest threats, right? If you lose your job, if you become disabled, and then what opportunities do you see? Do you have the ability to earn additional commission income? Do you have unallocated income in your spending plan right here that you can start to use to build long-term wealth? So think through some of these strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Write them down so you can understand what options you have available to you. And then once you get to a point where you're like, I have a spending plan that supports my highest priorities today, but also gives me unallocated income for the future, then you need to allocate that unallocated income. And you can use this guide, this money management system guide, to say, if I have $10,000 of income, how much is going towards my fixed expenses? How much is going to my variable expenses? That can come directly from this category on your spending plan where it adds it up for you. And you'll just plug that in to each of these categories. So you're like, I know that my fixed expenses in this example is 30%, but let's say your fixed expenses are only 20,000. Well, that drops it down to 20%. I know my variable expenses are 30,000. I know how much I'm saving in cash is 250 for emergency and 250 for a travel. And that's $500 total, and that's 5% of my total income. So you're going to do this with each one of these sections. And the idea here is that you are putting purpose behind all of the money that you're making, whether it's going to fill your current lifestyle needs with your fixed and variable expenses, or it's going to fill your future needs because you're saving for long-term goals, or you're saving for retirement, or you're saving to protect yourself against some of the most risky and financially threatening things that we all face, like disability and death. And then you have another section here that's fillable. So maybe if you carry debt, you can put debt in there. Or if you want to just have a fun account, this is for you to customize. But I found that this form, this worksheet, allows people to conceptualize how their plan is working. And so once you understand where your money should be going, all this should be automated. This 250 in this example, this 250, so this total $500 should be coming out of your checking account or your cash account on an automatic basis without you having to do any work. You should have the investment account running on a reoccurring basis without you having to do any work. Same thing goes for every single one of these. So this is how you automate a clear, simple plan that is aligned with your goals, your mission, your values, and this is how you get an understanding of your current financial vitals and the health that your current financial health. So that is how to use, I like to think of as our trio, our spending plan, our summary, and our money management system diagram. These are really nice to use in conjunction. And then a little extra bonus, because I love you guys and want you guys to be successful. Here is a bunch of other worksheets that can help you along your financial journey. So if you're struggling with credit card debt, here's a worksheet on how to pay it off. If you want to help figure out how to reduce some of your expenses, there's a worksheet on analyzing your needs versus your wants. If you need help automating your accounts, there's a worksheet to understand what that actually means. So I hope you guys find a lot of value in this. The earlier you start and the more refined and the more thought and the more energy you put into creating your clear, simple, and automated plan, the better off you will be. I promise. You can thank me later. Uh, with that being said, you guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, and cheers to your financial success.